Halloween Horror Nights 32 is over, but there was something brand new this year, hiding in plain sight. Did you catch it? So let's rewind that footage and see just what I discovered. Here at Cabana Bay and some of the resorts on Universal property. So that's kind of cool that there's a new hashtag for you to use for this. You have the Chucky's Twisted Playground, and you actually have this, which is kind of cool. Now, this would be the first time that I actually saw the words activation come into play, as well as later on in the opening weekend, I saw one of the A&D members mention the word activations as well. And also appearing on Horror Nights' own press release for Halloween Horror Nights 32 was the following. For the first time ever, the fog has spread to all 8 hotels with exclusive activations. Now, if we want to do a deeper dive into the history of sort of these added extra events, we would have to go way back a couple Halloween Horror Night years ago when they were doing Legendary Truth Experience or the experiment. On the last couple of days of the event, pretty much when most of the diehard fans were coming to the event, they would run these sort of exclusive behind the scenes type of things. Let me know if you wanted me to do a future video on this topic about like added stuff that Horror Nights has did that wasn't a part of the event. They don't do that quite as much anymore because it's more like this where it's a part of the press release. So this is editor Chris speaking from behind the scenes. I forgot that HHN 29 had a Cabana Bay experience with Stranger Things doing a pop-up. Although this was kind of the first take of them doing something, it's kind of not related to what I think the activations are. So going forward, all of these sort of have a relation to each other. Let's see if you can actually spot it. This could possibly lead to whatever the future of these activations at Cabana Bay or maybe beyond could be. So to discover where the origins of this took place, we're gonna have to go back to the future. No, joking. We're gonna have to go back to Halloween Horror Nights 30, where they first introduced us to this sort of jack. So the first activation was actually called the Jacked Up Experience, taking place at Cabana Bay. This is actually, I think, my favorite one. This one and maybe Chucky compete with each other. This one was quite different. It was the first time sort of doing a really solo experience and having it kind of be advertised. People didn't know what this was. Was it going to be a little mini scare house? Was it going to have an actor in it? We kind of didn't really know what to expect, and I thought it was kind of cool. So it was a guided tour through sort of the Carnival of Carnage, featuring a lot of like artifacts and set pieces from that era of Jack. And then you went through, you got to take a little photo op in the blender that was actually used on the stage show. And then there was a little EEPROM, like a little guest activated trigger in here. That was really cool. And then you got to go through and watch sort of Jack just do this montage on the wall. It was very, very creepy. This whole experience I thought was really creepy and appropriate for younger kids to kind of do and get sort of that touch of what Horror Nights is without it being, you know, really as scary as Horror Nights can be sometimes. But I thought it was a solid effort. I did it quite a few times. Then we fast forward to the next year experience, which was, you like this angle? Except for the flare, but if I tilt my head just enough, yeah, there we go. That's the shot. By the way, I'm doing this thumbs up because I want you all, if you're enjoying this content, I gotta keep my head at this angle. If you all could subscribe and leave a thumbs up if you are enjoying this type of content here on this channel. And now back to the video. And I can now move my head. Oh, there we go. And from there, we're going to move on to the next year of Halloween Horror Nights, where we were introduced to yet another photo opportunity with none other than the classic Universal Monsters. Oh boy, I really do love the Universal Monsters year after year after year. The Universal Monsters Gallery of Legends, which I thought was fun as well, but not quite as interesting as I found the Jack one. This was pretty much, they revamped it to sort of just be a free-for-all. You walked in, you just got to go up to the different sort of photo sets and take a photo, and that was pretty much what it was. It was set pieces and you just got to take a photo. And really it was smart, because I think Universal's doing this because you can't take photos and videos inside the house, unlike Hollywood. So this is kind of them giving you a way of doing social media and taking pictures and hashtagging, you know, and doing TikToks and stuff. It's smart. It's all, you know, it all kind of makes sense in that kind of hindsight. And then we fast forward to what we did at last year's event with Chucky's Twisted Playground, which was, again, another photo opportunity type of thing. But this time they sort of, they had like an illusion kind of twist. Each photo kind of had sort of a weird illusion effect to it, which was really cool. I dug the mirror part with Chucky. I thought that was creepy. I thought having Chucky's monologue and his dialogue throughout the experience was really cool, because it gave you a really creepy, unsettling feeling for it being a photo op. A lot more stuff jam-packed in here than it was for the Monsters Gallery of Legends, so they did better this time. It'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do, you know, come this Halloween Horror Nights. And I think I have an idea. We'll discuss that in quite a bit. And as well as, I mentioned this earlier in the video, but this is the first time they've used this new hashtag of hashtag stay in horror, which you're supposed to use for the experience of being like, oh, you know, I stayed at Cabana Bay during Horror Nights. Don't know if anybody really used it, but yeah, first time they've used that. What?
See you.
What? With the exclusion of Stranger Things, which I don't even know how Universal was able to get the details on that, because I'm sure it was probably quite expensive. And if you're looking at the 3 activations that we talked about previously, so starting with Jack, and then you went to Universal Monsters, and then you went on to Chucky. Now, there was something I said, all of these properties sort of had a relation to each other, and if you figured that out, I was talking about they are owned by Universal themselves, making it quite easy for Universal to just add these experiences because it's already owned by them. And that leads us to where this goes forward in time for this Halloween Horror Nights of this year. Although it's kind of weird because I'm saying that, but time of this recording, we are in 2023, so. And there's a heavily rumored property to come to the event this year, none other than Five Nights at Freddy's, which is pretty much under Blumhouse's umbrella, which is AKA owned by Universal. So I could easily see this being an added experience where you get to take photos with the characters or the statues or the animatronics they use from the movie. I could definitely see this. They had it in Hollywood last year, so it's no reason of why they couldn't bring it to the added experience for this year. And speaking of, while we're talking about Blumhouse, did you know that Horror Nights and Blumhouse have quite a relationship? And last year they actually did Blumfest for a second year. They even stepped it up even bigger. And to check out our experience at Blumfest, definitely click on this video to see what it was like. Check out that video, and I will see you all on a future video very, very soon. Peace out, everybody.